moved to the London-based Tottenham Hotspurs in tandem. The one-month transfer window witnessed Premier League clubs spending as high as £300 million to realign their teams. Hello, I'm Hardik Agrawal. In this special show, we will analyze the key transfers in European football with a focus on the Premier League. I have with me Luke Almeida, straight from Everton, and Krishnan Unni from Spurs Bangalore, who would be sharing their views on the January transfer window. Starting with Everton, Luke, under Lampard's system, Lampard has been appointed as the new manager of Everton, and under Lampard's system, clubs score a lot of goals, but due to their high-intensity attacking play, the team often falters at the back. Luke, do you think that the 43-year-old would return with improved defensive tactics after being out for the job for a year? And also, can Nathan Patterson, right back from Rangers, and Mykolenko from the Ukraine club, left back, will be sturdy for Everton at the back?
I'm optimistic on Lampard. I think he could do well for us. Yes, he's been out of a job for a year, but I think with the other options for the manager job, that's a good signing. On the defensive options, Patterson, we've not really seen him yet. He's not got in the team over Coleman, but Mykolenko's looked a bit shaky at start, but he's still got more to come. Hopefully he'll improve.
Right, Luke. And so Dele Alli and Donny van de Beek are the marquee signings of Everton in this January transfer window. Both the players have showcased their caliber at one time in their career, but they have plummeted in recent times. Can they shine under Lampard at the Merseyside club, Luke?
I'm really optimistic about these two signings. Van de Beek didn't really get a chance at Man United, but we know what player he can be because of Ajax. And Dele Alli, very similar player to Frank Lampard himself. So maybe Lampard can unleash what we used to see from Ali. So I'm really optimistic with those two signings. I think they're really good.
What do you think about this, Krishnan?
I'm excited for Dele Alli and for Spurs. I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. Considering that Dele Alli was just not cutting it at Spurs, and he needed a change. He needed a a new start to his career. And I think Everton with Lampard and Van de Beek would be like the best setting for him to rediscover himself. He's an English player, English manager. Maybe he needs an arm around the shoulder, somebody just to like motivate him to get back to his his peak, which was when he was 21, and hopefully we get to see him rediscover that kind of form again, because we know that there's a player in there somewhere.
Also, Christian, Eriksen has made a move back to Premier League. He will be playing for Brentford. So do you think that the former Spurs midfielder has made the right decision by returning back to football after suffering from a cardiac arrest 7 months back at Euro 2020?
I mean, like, he obviously would have considered all the advice that he would have received from the doctors and people like that, and that it's his own conscious choice to come back into football, and I think it's great. He is one of the best players that Spurs have had in the last 20-30 years. So I'm really happy to see him back in football, and hopefully he can make a difference for Brentford. It's exciting to see that, I think he would be thankful to Brentford for giving him a chance in the Premier League, which I'm sure most of the clubs would not, considering the situation that he has been a part of. So really looking forward to seeing what Eriksen can do, and hoping that he can replicate his form that won him the title at Inter and showed us so many great moments as Spurs fans.
Right, Krishnan. And as on the deadline day, Spurs also signed two of the tenacious Juventus players, Bentancur and Kulusevski. Can they turn the fortunes for Antonio Conte's side? Can they help the London-based club in reaching the top four at the end of the season, Krishnan?
So we have actually replaced some of the quote-unquote creative players in our team in terms of Ndombele, Lo Celso and Dele Alli with players like with Bentancur, and it looks like it's going. We have a certain plan in terms of what kind of midfielders we want, because if you look at the team, the players that we otherwise have, like Harry Winks, Skip, like Bentancur has more quality. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play. And Kulusevski is, I personally feel, is an unknown entity. I hope that he can be the wonderful right winger with the left foot who can just cut in and shoot like Robin. But the numbers, if you look at the stats that he has put up this season and last season, he's a young player, but I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting too much from him, but yeah, hopefully he can convince all the fans that he is the right man for the job on that right wing.
Luke, Everton is in a very difficult situation right now. They are 16th on the table. Do you think that Lampard can take the team with the new reinforcements to the top half of the table?
I think that's a big task. At the moment, it's just cementing, making sure we don't get relegated. I'm not going to rule it out, but at the same time, I think the expectation is just keep us in the league. And from next season, we can build from there. I wouldn't say top 10, but that would be great if we could.
Right. Krishnan, talking about your arch rivals Arsenal FC, they failed to clinch Dusan Vlahovic, who they wanted desperately. So do you think that their form could plummet in the second half of the season due to the absence of a tenacious striker?
I would really hope it does. I mean, nothing would make me happier than seeing Arsenal in the mud. But you never really know in football. That's the thing, right? If their team starts clicking, we saw how they played for the top four. I would see them finishing either fifth or sixth because I think they are better than their competition, like Leicester. I don't know about Leicester, but West Ham definitely. But yeah, fifth or sixth for Arsenal, and it's between us and United for fourth.
Right, guys. We all had our eyes on Newcastle because they had a massive takeover in the first half of the season. So they did sign 5 significant players: Dan Burn, Chris Wood, Gumares, Trippier, Matt Target. So can they help Newcastle United stay up in the Premier League? Luke, can these players help the Magpies?
I think they can stay up. I think Gumares and Trippier especially are great signings. The other three, I think people expected huge signings for Newcastle, but they are in the relegation battle. But I think there's some really good signings in there. And with Eddie Howe manager, I think they could probably stay up.
Right. Krishnan, what do you think about Newcastle's second half of the season?
Yeah, I think that the signings that they made, if they gel well and if Eddie Howe is able to find a system to get goals out of the team, then I'm sure that they will be able to stay. I believe that competition to get relegated, I'm not sure who they are. I think it's I don't really remember who their competition is for going down, but I'm pretty sure there are teams worse than what Newcastle have. They have invested a significant amount of money, so maybe they will reap the benefits of that. So let's see. It's again, I think it's like an unknown entity in terms of Newcastle, whether the players would gel or not. They bought a lot of players in this short window.
Right. And what's your take on Jesse Lingard? Should Manchester United have allowed the player to leave for Newcastle? Luke?
Part of me wanted to see Lingard at Newcastle. It was exciting seeing him at West Ham last season, and he is a great player, but obviously isn't getting game time at Man United. I did want to see him. I saw West Ham wanted him again, but I did want him at Newcastle. See him at Newcastle. I've always liked Newcastle, but it wasn't to be. Obviously, maybe back in the summer he'll come.
Another signing that made the headline, guys, was Philippe Coutinho from Barcelona to Aston Villa. So can Coutinho resurrect his career at the Birmingham-based club? And do you think that Steven Gerrard can bring the best out of the midfielder, of the attacking midfielder? Luke?
Yeah, well, we all saw at Liverpool how good he was. When his debut against Man United, he looked good. I was at the game against Everton. He didn't really make an impact, but we all know his talent. Gerrard played with him, knows what he's good at. You got to say that could be one of the signings of the window.
Krishnan?
It really depends on what we look at for Aston Villa's success this season. Like, what exactly are they planning on achieving this season? If they want European football, maybe there is an outside chance for them to get in because of Coutinho and the goals that he will inevitably score. So, but yeah, again, like going back to his time previously, even with Liverpool, he had bursts of form. You know, like there would be like 10 games where he would be unplayable, one of the best in the league, and then he would be missing for another 10 games. So, if that's the Coutinho that is going to come to Aston Villa, I don't see him making that much of an impact. But yeah, a lot of worldies coming in. Watch out for that. At least that I'm sure of.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us today, guys. You gave some incredible insights. It was a fun chat. Looking forward to the second half of the Premier League. So watch this space. This is Hardik Agrawal signing off. Like, subscribe and share if you like this piece of information. Thank you.